Welcome back to the EdTech Mentorship Network series on Kidblog. This is video number 4, and I'm Victoria. I'm going to be walking you through today how to deal with some of those pesky user settings that we always think about when we're setting up our accounts for the first time. So with Kidblog, you want to be a little bit careful because you are being an ambassador on a class account, and anything that the kids say or do does kind of represent you as a teacher. So you're going to want to be careful with that. So the first thing you're going to want to do is make sure you're signed into your account at the top right corner, and then you're going to click on the settings bar. When we click on the settings, we're going to just go through each of these today, and then I'll go through a couple things in comments and posts. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're just going to go through and just make sure everything looks hunky-dory. Typically, you're going to have to change the time zone, so I usually change it to just an American city, so let's just type in Los Angeles. We're in Pacific time right now. You can change the date or anything like that. And remember, every time I do anything, I need to click Save Changes at the bottom. Settings saved, I'm good to go. So you can change your themes. Once again, if you upgrade your class, you actually have access to more themes. And that also allows students to individually customize as well. Widgets are basically just showing what's going to show up on the side of your site. So what I mean by that, let's just actually go to our site. We have widgets, we have a banner here, which is not showing up fantastic. We have a class avatar that we can change. There's a visitor stat, so as soon as our site gets viewed, there'll be a little map showing where in the world the visitors came from, tags, categories, and blog roll, which is basically any posts that come up in the past however long. They're just going to come up here, the last 3 or 4 posts, and then as well as our students on the side to click on. So I'm just going to go jump back into my dashboard so you can actually see that the widgets, you can customize those things. So if we take a look at class avatar, we can totally get rid of that. If we want to take away the stats, we can get rid of that if we want to. Okay, we're going to jump now to posts. And when we're in posts, this is a really important part. So right now it's set up so that only users in my class right now can see these posts. Now you can add another Kidblog class URL, so if I know one, I can add them. However, I'm probably not going to just open it to one class or 2 classes. I probably want to actually open it to the world at some point because these kids are making digital portfolios. However, this is up to you as a teacher. You need to do what is comfortable for you. Many teachers that I start with actually start with just having the teacher only being able to see, moving then to the users in our class and the users, startup disk is full, the users in the other classes being able to see, and then eventually move to all visitors. Teachers have to moderate posts before they appear. This just means that the posts go to you before they get posted online publicly. And I also turn on the email notification for this because every time a student might post from home, I get to document that. Now I can manage tags here, and all that means is that I can add specific tags that the kids can add, but I'm not going to do that right now. I'm just going to go back. And then again, you can show the way that they're viewed or what kind of media uploads are available. I'm actually going to take this off because I don't need the kids uploading things that I've uploaded. And once again, we're going to save those changes. Same things, we're going to jump into comments now. All the same, we need to make sure if we're comfortable with the users from the class only being the ones to comment, that's fine. Remember, if we only say users in the class, the parents, if they don't sign in as the child, they're not going to be able to comment. So if you want to click on that, you can say all visitors. Okay, but there is a parent feature to explore if you want to explore that too. But that was in the users thing. Users won a couple screencasts ago, so 2 episodes ago. Teacher or moderator must approve comments. Keep that on. That helps you have any conversations about digital citizenship that you may need to have in the future. And once again, every time a comment appears or a new comment is posted, it'll send me an email. The last comment setting here is to enable threaded or nested comments. Now on this one, a nested comment basically just means that you have a comment and then a reply. And if it's only 2 levels deep, that means there's only 2 exchanges of conversation that can happen on that comment thread. So I usually expand this to at least 5 or 6. So if the kids do have questions or answers for one another, they can reply back and forth. So I'm going to save changes there. And last but not least, we kind of explored this. We've added users, and you saw underneath on the last screencast, you saw how parents could join. So in the student profile, they can join via a parent registration code, and the students can edit their own profiles. You can actually turn these on or off, however you see fit. For me, I have these off because I have a public blog, but if you want these on so the parents can explore, that's fine too. And once again, I'm going to save those changes.
The last thing we're going to touch on quickly before we wrap up this screencast is how to add categories and tags. So if I want to add a category and tag, I'm going to click on Review Posts. And underneath, you're going to find yet another menu, and I'm going to click on Categories here. Now, categories are basically a way to tag data inside of posts. So for example, I might set a category to be something like math, and then I can add that category. Maybe I'll have reading as one of my categories, and maybe I'll have Genius Hour as another. If I want to make one category nested underneath another one, let's just say multiplication is one of our strands of math, and I'm going to go ahead and click under in the parent area, and I'm just going to nest it underneath math. What this means is that multiplication will be an offshoot of the math category. And what this allows kids to do is when they write a new post, they're going to write their post about math. So let's just say post about multiplication. And they're going to write their post in here. And then when they go to select a category, they're going to be able to select math and multiplication. Now, a tag is basically just a way for them to add extra things that you can designate or they can designate. I actually get my kids to put in tags, so maybe they used arrays to describe this particular thing, and maybe they used manipulatives. So I can add those tags as well. They're just more metadata so the kids can search on the website for things that posts they might be looking for once your site gets filled up, which is useful down the road once you have a lot of posts. So when this gets published, I'm going to see that the categories are here, math and multiplication, and I can also scroll up to the very top and see that post on our main page of our blog. And on the right hand side, I'm just going to scroll down, and once again there's those widgets. You can see some visitors have visited the site, so you can see the world map and where they're coming from. And you can also see on the right side there's categories. And the teacher has the ability, when kids categorize their posts, to click on the math category and then peruse all of the posts that have the math tag. So you just wouldn't have this one listed here. You would have all of the posts from Johnny, Sally, and the rest of your students who tagged anything with math or any of the other categories that are used on your Kidblog. So thank you for joining us for the settings features of Kidblog. Next screencast, we are going to be exploring the iOS app for the iPad for Kidblog, and just a really quick overview of how kids can use that instead of the web tool to post their work. So thank you for joining us for this episode of the EdTech Mentorship Network, and we'll see you next time.